All right. Hey, I'm up. So yeah, I missed a couple of days. I woke up the last couple of days just super, super sick. Um, and yeah, so I didn't meet my commitment to be here on Tuesday and Wednesday, and I apologize for that. I'm really working on doing better about that. The next book that I'm going to repeat listening to is going to be The Miracle Morning because that usually motivates me to do better about this. I have to say though that um, that I have been doing better than I ever have as far as getting up earlier. At this point, I was still a little bit sick. I'm not going to make it to Toastmasters this morning. It's 6:15 in the morning here. So anyway, yeah, let me jump in because I told you last time that I was going to talk about finances, and um, yeah. Anyway, I'll talk about being sick tomorrow, I guess. But yeah, you don't need the details. It's just it sucks being sick, and so yeah, I apologize for not having recorded videos. Anyway, I'm not going to spend my whole time apologizing. Let's get into the meat. So anyway, so money. Your business needs it. Usually, you have other people. Well, I guess not. I won't say that. Usually, you have other people that depend on you. That may not be true, but you need it to get by, right? So, you know what? Let's talk. And lots of yawning on this show first thing in the morning. I should probably find some form of caffeine. Now I'm Mormon, so I don't drink coffee or tea. So I'll have to find something else to get me going in the morning. I'm also in dire need of a shave. Anyway, so uh, I have a number of books that I'm cycling through, right, as part of my process. One of them is Profit First by Mike Michalowicz, I think is his name. And it's Mike M something, and it's something like that. Anyway, um, so what he talks about, the whole principle behind it is to take profit first, but he has a whole system behind it. So it's more than just, oh, I'm going to pull out the profit, then I'm going to do the rest of the stuff. But the one of the main principles is that when you get paid, you take profit out, and then you pay everything else. A few other things that he recommends is that you set things up so that you pay. So, for example, on the 10th and 25th. So on the 25th, I did this, and I'm going way to the end of the book here. So you should go read the book because the process is really great and it's really been interesting so far. But anyway, so you pull the profit out and then you pay all your expenses, and you are one of your expenses. So um, I'm working on getting to the point where I can pay myself the salary that I want. I don't know if it's a salary that the business supports at this moment, but we'll see if I can get the business income up to where it has been in the past, then it definitely is something that I can afford easily on the business. But anyway, it also keeps me from making a couple other dumb mistakes that I made in the past, like not setting money aside for taxes. I've done that a couple of times. I'm caught up on my taxes now, but if you had talked to me, about 2 years ago, I wasn't even close. I hadn't paid taxes in like 3 years, and then I paid them, the following January. So just to kind of put that in perspective. But anyway, so what he does is he has you sit down and do an evaluation of your business as far as the income goes, and then you take all of that information and you work it into he you basically figure out what percentages of what you've been putting to the different areas, and the different areas are profit, um, owner's pay, uh, expenses, taxes, and profit. So you have 5 accounts, one for each of those things. And you also have an account for income, and that's where all your income's supposed to go. And I'm working on moving all of my income sources over to use that account instead of the main account, which is my OPEX account, because I started to move all the expenses over to OPEX account, and I figured out that that's a royal pain, and that it's much easier just set up an income account and then tell Stripe and the couple of other places that um, have to pay for stuff to to just use the regular account, or to that put money into my account to put the money into my income account. So because there are much fewer of those, and I know what they are. So anyway, so I set all the accounts up last week, and then no, it was on Monday, I think, that I did it. But anyway, I set up all the accounts on Monday, and then Monday was the 25th, so I did the profit first. And I had done the evaluation and figured out my percentages a few months before, maybe a month before. And so I just allocated according to what he said your target allocation percentages would be for a business of my size. And then I was listening to the book again, because I'm cycling through the book because I hadn't implemented it yet. And he says, don't do that. Make sure that you just increase each area or decrease each area um, in order to get closer to the target. So instead of putting the 5% into the profit account like I did, I should have put 1% or 2% into the profit account. I'm going to leave it, see how it goes. Honestly, at this point, I think it's going to be totally fine. Just looking at the expenses that are coming and when they're coming, I'm pretty sure that I can time everything out so that everything can work out. And I'm just going to talk to my editor and say, hey, look, can I pay you on the 10th of every month? And that way, on the 25th and the 10th, then I can just pay his expense, because I pay him monthly, so he has to wait a week or so, but then he gets paid on a regular basis. So anyway, it's been kind of interesting to just work it out. But the other thing is then it gives me an idea. Hey, look, things are really slim on the operating expenses. How do I fix it? And he also talks a lot about cutting expenses. Tells you to cut your expenses by 10% or more. And when he tells you to cut it by 10%, the reason is because typically, and I'm no different, you're spending way more on operating expenses than you should be, according to that target percentage. And so what it does is it forces you to lean up a little bit, so you get things lean, you cut the fat, and you figure out what you need to be doing. And anyway, it's just looking at what I'm spending money on and cutting all the stuff that I have that I don't need or shouldn't be paying for. Anyway, it's been kind of interesting there too. In order to get to that 10%, though, I might actually have to let somebody go. And so I'm trying to figure that out as far as, do I let them go in order to make sure that the business is profitable like it needs to be and that, things are really running the way that they should. The other part of that, though, is that then what happens is I wind up doing pretty much all of the work except for the audio editing and show notes. But the flip side of that is that then I can really fine tune those processes. I can get them automated, and then the parts that I can't automate, then I can hire somebody or hire this person back and essentially say, okay, I'm hiring you to do this job, right? I need this done on a regular basis. So anyway, we'll see how all that goes and what the implications are there. But anyway, overall, I think it's a really positive thing. I did have a controversial letting somebody go about a year ago, maybe it was a little longer than a year ago. And if I had found this system then and gone through it, there's no way I could have kept her either. And so that makes me feel a little bit better about that situation just because, I had a few people telling me that she was too large an expense in my business. And it turns out that was actually the case. In that a lot of the reasons why things were hard basically boiled down to what I was paying for her services. Not that she was bad at it or did a bad job. It was just, where my business was financially, it just didn't fit. So anyway, really, really digging that. And so I'm being a little bit more responsible with the income. One thing that I have to say, though, is that the amount of money that we're talking about here with the percentage is allocated the way that they are. The way that I paid them out this month, actually, the only place that I'm really worried about falling short on is the operational expenses. And what really the pieces are there are, if I can increase my income, then that solves a lot of those issues. It also means that I get paid a little bit more and I can take a little more in profit. But anyway, the flip side of that is that um, it's just it does tell me that I need to slim things up. He does say that you get one mulligan pulling stuff out of the profit account in order to to cover operating expenses. I don't think I'm going to have to do that, but at the same time, what I put in the profit account isn't enough to make a huge blip on the radar of the business. Um, if I have a couple of large expenses throughout the month, and if I pay them, I don't have enough in there to pay them both right now. But since I'm drawing twice a month, I should have enough to pay them when they come up. So then it's just a matter of managing this and letting people know, hey, look, you're going to get paid on the 25th or you're going to get paid on the 10th. And, just making sure that that all works. And then, yeah, just making sure that I have the sponsorship money in place and the other income things in place to actually make it work. But anyway, so yeah, overall, it's been interesting. I'll keep you posted on how it's going. But yeah, it's kind of been interesting just having a system around that, and knowing, okay, this is how you do it, and this is what you do. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. I've been babbling about it, and but I'm excited to see where it goes, and excited to actually have a plan of action for this. And yeah, I'm also really getting organized. I talked about hiring a project manager a couple days ago, and I'll probably give an update on that and just let people know where things are generally tomorrow. So anyway, I see I have one viewer. Thank you for watching. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and sign out, and I'll talk to you later.